Hello everyone, now let's start the discussion of chapter number 4 of Financial Markets and Products, Introduction to Derivatives. In this chapter, we are going to discuss some basics of the derivatives, the very basics and plain vanilla derivatives, which is the forwards, futures and the options. This chapter is very similar to the chapter we had in 2019 session with the same name, Introduction to Derivatives. The only difference here in 2020 is the language has changed a little bit. Okay, so there's no major change here. So if you have prepared this chapter in the using the old videos from 2019 videos, it is fine. Okay, so message is same in both the videos, but in 2020 recording I'm trying to catch up with the language of GARP instead of using the raw language which we used for the 2019 session. Okay, so before you start this chapter, make sure you have studied the level 0 of the derivatives, which is your class 3. This is the class 4, because in level 0 of derivative we are discussing very basics of the derivatives, and in this particular topic, like in class 4, I'll try to use bit raw language. Okay, so again I will start with the basics only. We will cover the basics and the topics which are discussed here, but make sure you watch the level 0. Okay, so let's first start with the basic understanding of the introduction to derivatives and the word derivative. What is the meaning of the word derivative? So derivative is the contract which derives its value from its underlying. So it is a simple contract, its value is derived from its underlying. Now first let's understand the underlying. Okay, so underlying is any asset or event. Okay, and if you start using, or if you have any contract on that asset, then that contract becomes the derivative, because that contract will derive its value from the underlying. I will give you the one example, and then I will the example will be very generalized. Okay, the example is very generalized, like a cricket match, the betting on the cricket match. So in previous batch, one of my students told me, like, betting is legal in his country, it is not legal in India. Betting on cricket is legal in his country and not in India. So we'll take that example. Now imagine a scenario, there is a cricket match going on. Okay, and say player X, and you are betting on player X score more than 100. Okay, so you are betting with me that this player will score more than 100. If you win, I'll give you say 1000. Because this is a bet, I will not be a person who will give it to you for free, so I will charge you something. So the cost or the price of this bet is, say, $10. Okay, at this point the actual score of the player on the pitch is, say, 20. Okay, his total runs are just 20, and your bet is that he will score more than 100. And what is going to happen? If you win the bet, I will pay you $1000. And what is my benefit in this? Because I'm getting $10 here. So if you lose, $10 is mine, I'll not return it, and if you win, I have to pay you $1000. This is as simple as that. Now imagine a scenario, this match goes on and player hits some sixes and fours, and say now his score is 99. Now your friend comes to me and asks for the same bet, that I want to bet on X scoring more than 100. Okay, now see here, the possibility of X scoring more than 100 for your friend at this point, when the score is already 99, is very high. But still there is a chance that it will not happen, because he might get out, right, run out or any kind of. So in this case, obviously I will charge high premium or high bet price from your friend, say $950. This is again the price of bet. Okay, this is the price of bet. Initially it was $10, now it is $950. What is the reason here? Because when you entered into bet, the price, the chances were very low, because he's just scored 20 and there were 80 runs to go. Now the chances are very high, because the player is already at the 99, and he has to score just 2 runs to complete the target, to complete the bet, which is 100 and above. Okay, so more than 100. right? Now in this case, can you see the price of bet is increasing as the player scores more runs, right? So this bet is contract. What is a contract? That this is a contract between you and me. The contract is that if this player scores more than 100, then I have to pay you $1,000. And for entering into this contract, you paid me some initial amount, which is $10. Your friend paid me initial amount $9.50, right? So we can see clearly here, this bet is a contract. And this contract's value is increasing as the X scores higher runs. So here, this X runs is underlying. Why? Because X runs are the deciding factor for our contract, for our bet. So as the X scores more runs, this contract price is increasing. So this contract is a derivative which is deriving its value from runs scored by X. Are we actually playing this cricket match? No. Someone else is playing. The underlying is happening there. Okay, so underlying is event here, right? So this is a difference. Now, I'll just give you the graphical representation. So say run by run, okay? So say this is score 0 when batsman comes onto the strike, and say this is score 100 and this is price of bet. So how price will keep on increasing? Say like this, okay? This again depends upon demand and supply, and the bet will close here once the score is matched, right? So once the player scores more than 100, then there is no logic in this bet, right? Okay. Now see here, you can see that this price of bet, which is our contract, which is the derivative, the price of the derivative is increasing as the runs are increasing. Okay, so 0, 50, 100, it is increasing. In this particular case, we are discussing the cricket match and the betting. In many cases or many countries, is legal or not legal. So what we can do here is we will simply replace these runs by stock price. Okay, just say stock price instead of runs, right? So runs scored by X. Instead of that, we are taking this, and instead of bet on the X runs, we will say this is the bet on the stock prices. Now the bet is, you are saying the stock price will reach above 100. This is your bet, okay? And this will works in similar fashion. Because we are discussing, because we are learning the curriculum which talks about the financial markets and the financial products, we are taking the example of stock prices. You can replace this with anything. If you are a farmer, you can say you want to bet on rain. You want to bet on weather, temperature, like that. Say if you are a bakery man and like that, okay, so if you are a baker, then what you can do is you can take a bet on corns, right? So whatever you need as a raw material. So if the price increases, you want to win that bet. Why you want to win that bet, or why you will enter into all this kind of bet, is a different thing. Okay, that we will discuss in the later discussion. But for now, just think like this. So this is a bet. You want to win the bet. That's it. As simple as that. All these bets will derive its value from its underlying. Underlying must be defined for the derivative. Okay, and what type of derivatives which we are going to study in FRM Part 1 curriculum. So primarily in this chapter, we are going to discuss only 3 derivatives. Forwards, futures, options. Okay, so these are the only 3 derivatives which we'll discuss for the first part of the financial markets and product, this particular subject. And later on, we also have some more derivatives, which is swaps, FRAs, and other collars and like that. Okay, which are the fixed income derivatives. So we'll start with our discussion with the forwards, futures, and the options, and then after this particular section is over, section as in 18 total. We have around 12 chapters on this section. So once these 12 chapters are over, then we will move into the fixed income part where we'll discuss the other derivatives, right? So forwards, futures, and the options. This particular chapter discusses the basics of all these derivatives. This chapter is not getting deep into the actual discussions. So actual derivatives. Okay, so we have mechanics of future, which is, I guess, 6th or 7th chapter or 5th chapter, I guess. Okay, so we have some more chapters on the detailed discussion of these derivatives. So mechanics of futures is there, mechanics of options is there. So we'll try to have some limited discussion on the forward, future, and the option instead of getting into details. Okay, so this discussion, a very basic discussion which we already covered in the level 0. Okay, so there is a difference between trading in underlying and trading in derivatives. So trading in the underlying is when, say, this is underlying, this is a pen, the price of pen is say $10. So when I sell you actual pen, so this is trading in underlying. Okay, so I'm actually selling you some asset. So that's the basic thing. Now in trading in derivatives is a different thing. In trading in derivatives means we are entering into some kind of contract. It can be of the buy sell of some commodity, or it can be of some weather or event. It can be of some interest rate. It can be a contract on the interest rate, and so on. Okay, so I hope you got the idea of basics of derivatives. Okay, now so examples of some underlyings are stocks, commodities, interest rate, which you know, and derivatives. Examples of some derivatives is futures, forwards, options, swaps, and the FRS. Every derivative is discussed in detail, including the valuation of all these derivatives in coming chapters. So right now you should not bother about all these things. Okay, so first derivative is forwards. Okay, now the forward contract is if today we agree to buy or sell any commodity in future date, in forward date, is known as the forward contract. Example is, again I will take the same example. So this pen will be our commodity for all the classes. So say this pen, right now the price of pen is say $10, and you are planning to start your own project, say graphics designing project or some other project, where when you will need, like in that project you will need this pen. This is a digital pen which works on the displays. So but you are planning to start the project at the end of the 1 year, after 1 year, and you will need this pen after 1 year, right? But the chances are that the price of pen might increase after 1 year, right? So you want to protect yourself from the increase in price. So what you will do, you will come to me, you will ask, like, you want to buy this pen at the end of the 1 year. So you are coming to me today at T0. Whenever I am mentioning, whenever we are writing T0 is today, okay? And T1 can be anything. For in this case, we are saying T1 is 1 year. So this is a period T0 to T1. So the contract is that you will buy this pen at $10. Okay, now this is a very simple thing. Now imagine a scenario at the end of the T1, the price of the pen is 12. Okay, so because we have a contract, I have to sell this pen to you at $10 because of this contract, because of this derivative. There can be one different scenario. Say case 2. This is case 1. Say case 2. Case 2 is price dropped to $8. So I'll be very happy because I am able to sell something which is currently priced. I'm talking about it at the period at the T1, which is of the $8. I am able to sell it to you at $10. Right. So what is my advantage? What is my profit here? $2. So currently something is trading at $8 and I have to give it to you at $10, which is my benefit. So what I will do, instead of giving my own pen to you, what I will do, I will buy one pen from the market at $8 and I'll give it to you, as simple as that, right? And you have to buy it because this is a contract. Now, is it necessary to have a written contract in this particular case or in any case? So as per contract laws which governs the contract act, contract must not be in a written form. This is what law says. So if we have some, say, forward agreement and like that, and if we discuss it orally, then obviously we can call it as a contract and we can call it as a derivative. But to make it enforceable and to have the proper documentation of the terms and conditions linked to the contract, it is better we keep it a documented thing, right? So we are discussing it in the forwards case. Why? Because this is a one-to-one contract. You are coming to me and discussing all these things. Okay. Now, positions in the contract. So you agreed to buy. Your position is said as long forward, meaning you have agreed to buy in future. The person who is in sell position, that is forward sell, is said as this is short futures. Okay, so short forwards, not futures. Forwards and futures are similar things, except there is one or two difference between these two. Now see here, so buy and sell. Buy is known as the long, sell is known as the short. So what is the case? What is a possible scenario when someone will enter into a buy contract or the buy forward contract or the long forward contract? Just imagine when you will want to enter into the long forward situation or the long forward contract. So answer is very simple. Whenever you are expecting this particular commodity or stock or say interest rate or whatever, so we will just take the example of commodity here. You are expecting this commodity to increase its price in future. Okay, if you have the opinion, okay, then obviously you will enter into a long forward contract. Why long forward contract? Because long forward contract gives you right to buy at fixed price. So you can actually lock your price at the end of the which you can exercise at the end of the 1 year, right? So meaning if the price is increasing, then you will get paid, you will have the advantage, you lock the price. What if the price falls? As we discussed in the previous example, you will lose some money. Then when a person should enter into a short forward? Obviously when he is expecting that price would fall. So say I don't have like thing here. So just say I have 10 grams of gold in my pocket. Okay, and currently gold is trading at, I don't know the price of gold, just say it's very cheap, around say dollar. Should be approximately 450. Okay, so this is S0 of gold, $450. So I have asset which is worth $450. I'm really afraid that in say 6 months, in 6 months time, this price of this gold might fall to 300, right? And I want to protect myself. I'm planning to sell it after 6 months when my work will be done. Okay, right now I need gold for some purpose and I'm planning to sell it after 6 months. So I want to protect my price of the gold, okay, asset value. So what I can do is I will search for some forward buyer who is planning to buy gold after 6 months, and we will enter into contract. Just say example, you want to buy gold at the end of the 6 months, and you are also of the opinion that it is possible, right? You have the opinion that gold price might increase. I have the opinion gold price might fall. So because you have the opinion that gold price might increase, you'll be interested in locking your price. So how can we lock the price? Say we enter into agreement that at the end of the 6 months, forward contract is, we'll take some other price, 455. Okay, so I will sell my gold at 455 and you will buy this gold at 455. Why 455? There is no reason for the 455. The only reason we can give is right now for the dollar 455 is you agree to it, I agree to it, and that's it. We don't have to care about what the world is saying or what the world is doing. We are more interested in mutual agreement, right? So if we mutually agree, you agree that okay, you want to buy it at dollar 450, you will buy this gold after 6 months at dollar 455. It is fine for you. Why you are buying it? Because you have the opinion that after 6 months this gold price might increase to dollar 600. You have this opinion. Your analysis says that gold price are likely to increase in 6 months. So right now, can you see, like as per your opinion, the dollar price will be 600, and you will be able to buy same gold at 455. So why not, right? And why I am entering into this? Because I am really afraid that gold prices might fall to dollar 300, and that's why I'll enter into this particular contract. Now this is mutually agreed between you and me. Now what will happen? So always remember this is the rule of derivatives. Okay, so how you settle the contract can be different in different scenarios, but the price should be the agreed price. Now see what is meaning of the statement. So this is start, this is end, t0. At t0, s0 was dollar 450, and at t1 we have the settlement. Okay, so we have to close our contract. So see, we'll take case 1. In this case 1, price of the gold actually reached to the level which we discussed. Okay, now see here. Okay, so the price of the gold reached to the level as you thought, as per your opinion. Now this is dollar 600. Now you live in some country which is say 1000 kilometers away from my location. Okay, you live in some location which is 1000 kilometers away. Now the problem here is, like, when we have the settlement date at the T1, it is not feasible for me to actually give you this gold and come to you and give it to you manually, by hand, right? So hand to hand transfer is not possible because the total distance between these two locations, like my location and your location, is very far. So what I will, okay, so what we will do, I will tell you, like, do one thing. You buy it from the local market at dollar 600. Okay, so this is you. So because you all are students, I will just give you name ST. Okay, so the party ST will buy this gold at dollar 600. As per the agreement, what should be your landed price? Your landed price should be dollar 455. So what I will say, like, see, you do one thing, you buy it from the local market and I will pay you the difference amount. Difference amount is, which is minus 455. 55, just 500. So difference is 145. 50, 60, 600. Right. This is what I will pay you. Meaning you will receive this. Okay. So you will receive $145. You bought gold at $600. So the difference is you paid $600 minus you received $145. So net amount you paid to buy 10 grams of gold is $455, right? So you got payoff. Payoff is what I will pay you, because I can directly transfer it using internet, using net banking, right? So I will transfer 145 to you, which is very easy for me, and you will buy it in the local market. And the whole calculation goes like, you are able to buy the 10 grams of gold at the agreed price, $455. This 145, which is actual transfer, is payoff. Payoff is the actual money transferred between these two parties. Now what will happen in my case? Because I have to give you gold at $455, what I will do is I will sell this gold at $600, and you remember I am paying you 145. I paid this to you. Okay. And what I have in my pocket? 455. Right. So I am able to sell it. I can say like I am able to sell this gold, 10 grams of gold at 455, because at the end, after selling the gold, what is in my pocket? 455. After buying gold, what went out of your pocket? What is out of your pocket? 455. So this is how contract works. So this is our payoff. So we got the three basic things here. So what is the payoff? Okay. What is the settlement price? So this will be decided on the basis of the at the rate of settlement. Okay. So whatever is the settlement price, on that price all the settlements will happen, and your settlement date. Okay. So it's a very simple discussion. Now let's discuss the case 2. In case 2, say the price is $300. Now what will happen in case of the ST? Again, I have one option. I will come to you, I'll take my gold, I'll come to you, I'll give it to you and transfer it manually. This is one way, and again it will cost both the parties. So better go with the next method. Next method is I will give you the payoff, the differential amount, and using the differential amount you can adjust your prices. So what will happen? So I will ask you to buy gold at dollar from the local market, because the price is $300. You will buy it at $300. Now what will happen? After this, I will ask you to pay me the differential amount. So your landed cost is $455. See, because our agreement is $455, we have to make sure that your landed price and my landed price, your landed price of the buying and my landed price of the selling is $455. So how much you will pay me? 155. So total is 455. So what is your landed price of buying gold? Is $455. Right. What will happen in my case? So I will sell gold at $300, and you are paying me $155, which I will receive, and my landed sale price is $455. Okay. So in this case, your outflow is 155, my inflow is 155. Same. This tells us that in this derivative contract, if you take in general the stock market or any market, to every gainer there must be one loser of the equal amount. Okay. In this case, in this forward contract case, there must be one gainer for every loser and every gainer for one loser. Right. So who is the gainer here? Who is gaining? I am gaining 145. Who is losing? You are losing 155. In previous case, I was losing 145 and you are gaining 145, same amount, it must be same, right? So this is very interesting part. So this understanding this particular concept will help you in handling questions properly. So in exam, what happens, like there is a position short or long, and then whole calculation goes on. Okay, so what we are supposed to do is think from one perspective, any perspective, and just decide, is he a gainer or loser. So say there is a question which is talking about, say, short position, and then the question goes on. So what we will do, instead, for a moment we will ignore the short position, we will just do our basic calculations, like say agreed price is $455, the actual market price is 600, so total payoff should be 145, right? And once you get this payoff is, there is like just amount 145, you will decide, is this for the gainer or the loser. If this is the gainer, okay, so if say we are talking about the long question of long, and price is increasing, right? So the gainer will get $145. If the question is talking about the short position, then 145 is a loss, payoff is in loss, right? So this is how the forward and the future forward contract works. So I hope you got the idea of the basics of the forward contract. Again, this is the same discussion which we had in the level 0, but with some different tone. Okay, so I will also show you some Excel sheet and how the forward contracts payoff works. Okay, so before that, let's discuss some basic properties. These are the basic properties of the forward contract. We are not covering all the properties, but we are covering the necessary properties. Okay, this is the one-to-one contract, also known as OTC, over the counter. So in this case, we are one-to-one person, right? You are one person, I am one person. Just take different examples. Say I have shop which sells the forward contract. My job is, my business is to buy and sell the forward contracts. So what I will do, I will become party for a lot of peoples, right? So that shop is known as the over the counter. That situation, that arrangement is known as the over the counter. So when the party who needs forward contract, who wants to trade into forward contract, long or short, any, that party will go to the OTC, that counter, and ask for the forward contract, right? So how this counter looks, this is not actual counter, these are some banks, okay, so big banks, big investment banks, who deals in these over the counter products. Over the counter, it signifies that you can directly go to the trader and ask for the customized product, so whatever you have, and if two party agrees, then the forward contract will happen, right? Now this is a one-to-one contract. So one party and another party, they will mutually decide the terms of the contract, the price of the contract, what will be the date of settlement, how it will be settled, in cash or in actual physical exchange. So when the commodities actually exchange, it is known as a physical exchange. Okay. Then no money exchange in at inception of contract. Okay, so this is a simple contract. Okay, I may lose or you may lose. There is no defined thing here. Okay, so there is not only one party who can win. Okay, so there are chances at the end of the 1 year both may lose. So both have equal problems and equal opportunity of gain. That's why in this particular forwards arrangement, when the contract is simple, okay, so that you will buy and I will sell, so um, we don't need any initial money exchange, so no premium is required. Premium is premium to enter into contract. Why you will pay me premium to enter into contract? Because you are not actually, like, it is possible, it is also thing that I may gain from this particular contract, so I don't need any money. So initially there is no actual transfer, there is no actual money transfer, but at the end of the period there will be payoff. And then there is a risk of default. Okay, so what is this risk of default? Say at the end of the 1 year when we have to actually settle this contract, so I have to pay you $145 as per the agreement. And the problem here is I don't have $145 to pay you. So what will happen? I will default. So this is a default. Okay, so I'll not pay you. The contract will not be honored is the biggest problem of the forward contract. This is known as the risk of default, or we can also say counterparty risk. Counterparty risk means the counterparty, in your case, it is me, the counterparty who is liable to pay you money. So counterparty is always liable to pay money. Okay, so the party who is liable to pay money will not be able to pay. That's it. Okay, so that's a risk of default, a counterparty risk. And the third is the properties, it is customizable. Okay, so say you want like say 12 grams of gold instead of 10 grams. Okay, fine, no problem, because we are mutually discussing it, right? So you and me sitting on a table and we have all the options open and we can say like, okay, no, 12 grams is not possible for me. We'll go with the 11 grams, and you can say, okay, you are happy with the 11 grams, and now we have agreed to 11 grams. So see how highly customizable this contract is, because two people are discussing with each other, right? So this customizable property, you have to keep this in mind, because we will directly link this customizable property to the futures. Okay, so this is the whole scenario. I'll also show you an Excel sheet here for the future forwards. Okay, and this sheet will be same for futures. So I will just show you for the forwards. Just imagine it for the futures as well, because forwards and the futures are the in overall behavior it is same. There are few properties which are going to change in case of the uh, forwards or futures. Okay, so let's take the position can be buy or long. Okay, buy or long as in buy slash long. Underlying is 10 grams of gold. S0 current stock price is 100 and time to maturity is 1 year. Now price at the maturity at T1. Okay, I'm not able to write here, so it's not working. Okay, so let's discuss from here only. Now see here, price at the maturity. At the maturity as in at the end of the 1 year. Now if the price is $80, you remember the discussion, what will happen? There will be payoff. Okay. So for the long holder, the long is the person who has agreed to buy in the future. If he had agreed to buy at $100 and the actual price is $80, so his total loss is, think like this. There is some product which can be bought from the market at $80, but you have to buy it at $100. So what is your loss? $20, right? This is your actual loss. Otherwise, you could have bought it at $80. So you are losing $20 extra because of your contract. So net loss, sorry, the position for the long, the loss for the long is $20. In next case, price at the maturity is 85. So what will happen? Position for the long, that is the loss for the long is uh, 15. So instead of position, it should be payoff. Okay, payoff for the long and payoff for the short. Now in case of 90 it is $10, 95 it is $5 if the price is 100. So our agreement is buy at, your agreement is buy at $100 and my agreement is sell at $100 and actual price is also 100, so there is no loss actually. So you can see here, so it is the payoff here is $0, and as the price increases, okay, so you can buy one product at $100, but the actual market price of the product is $105. So you can buy at 100 right now, which is currently which is trading at $105, which is $5 advantage. So here payoff is $5. Then $110, then payoff will be $10, and then $15 and $20, like that, and so on, right? As we discussed that for every gain there is a loser standing on the other side, for every loss there is a gainer standing on the other side. So in this case, for the loss of long, who will gain from that loss? Short holder. In this case, in case of the 20, from this gain of long position holder, who will be losing? Short holder, right? Now if you plot a graph against the prices, okay, so I'll just explain you the axis. Just a second. Okay, see here. So you have position for short, you have position for long. So blue line indicates the position for long, and for short the orange line, yellow line. Okay, on the y-axis we have payoff. So $25 to $25, negative $25. Negative is indicated in the red ink, and remaining is indicated in the white ink. And here on this x-axis, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105, 110 and 120, this is your maturity price. So we are taking the different cases when if it is 80 or 85 or 90. So based on the different cases, the payoff is changing. So let's first start with the long holder. So long is the blue line. Now in case of long, what will be the loss if the actual price is $80? Again, I'm repeating this again and again. So once when I repeat all these things, you don't have to remember it. It will automatically fix in your brain. So again, what will happen for the long? When you are long, you have agreed to buy it at $100. You have to buy it at 100, but the actual price is 80. So you are losing 20. So your loss is 20 here. In next case, you are losing 15. After that, when the underlying is trading at 90, you are losing $100. Then 5, then 0, then 5, then you start gaining as the price increases. 5, 10, 15 and 20, right? We can see here, based on the underlying prices, your profit or loss is in the line, is a linear. So when your profit, your payoff is a linear function of the change in underlying price, we call it as the linear derivative. So forward is the linear derivative. How can we see? See, you can see the straight line here. So it is moving in the straight line. The payoff is linear, and that's why this is linear derivative. Okay. So linear derivative is very important because we have to also discuss the non-linear derivative. We will see what is the non-linear derivative. So once we discuss non-linear, you will get a better clarity on the what is a linear, why we were calling it as a linear derivative. Now let's talk about the short position holder. Short position holder is, he has agreed to sell at $10. and right now the price is $80. So I'm the seller, so I'm able to sell it at $100 when the actual price is $80. So I'm selling something which is cheap at an expensive rate. My profit is $20. Next is $15, then $10, and $5. My profit will keep on decreasing as the difference between the agreed price and the underlying price is decreasing. So currently it is trading at say 95 and agreed price is $100. So what is the difference? What is my gain? $5. When it is 100 and 100, there is no gain or loss. And after this, we have say 105 and 1010. We'll just discuss a 120 situation. So when the price is say 120 and our agreed price is 100. So I have to sell it to you at 100 when the actual price is 120. My loss is 20. So there's a problem here. But still we can see again the linear movement. It is in the opposite direction. This graph also tells us that for every loss, there is someone standing at the opposite side who is gaining and of the equal amount. So see, for this $20, there is someone who is gaining from this $20 is this position holder, the short position holder. Again, the movement is linear. So this is the linear derivative. No matter what, this you can take any example, you can work your any sort of maths on the forward contract, but you will always find that if you are taking the plain vanilla using all these basic features, plain vanilla forward, and you take all the basic features, you will always find it's a linear movement. That's why this will become the linear forward contract. Sorry, linear derivative. Okay. Now next discussion is a futures contract. Okay, now the futures contract is very interesting part, like the forward contract and like the options contract, right? So this is a very convention to say before we start anything. There is a convention to say this is the interesting part. So whole syllabus is interesting here. So I will say interesting for everything, right? Now see here, what is a futures contract? In futures contract, this is again exactly same as the forwards contract. But the futures contract is traded in the exchange. Okay, so how to tell you this? Like just say you have one tailor. Okay, so tailor is those who stitches our clothes. So we take like say cloth. Okay, we go to him, we give sizes, and based on that size he stitches some suit or shirt for us, right? This is a customizable product. So based on how broad your shoulders are, how broad your arm is, and every feature can be captured in that shirt. So it's a customizable. Now if you go to a ready-made garment store, what will happen? You will not get very customized product. Okay, so you have to buy it as a S, L, M, sorry, S, M, L, XL, double XL, triple XL, depending on the situation. So you have to buy based on this when you are going to ready-made garment store. Why this is a problem? Why ready-made garment store cannot give everyone what they want? Because there is a problem. If they start stitching clothes in a manner, they try to cater everyone, they will not be able to cater anyone. Okay, so the problem will be this. So what they did is this standardized, the ready-made garment stores have a standardized sizes. So we will sell XL, we will sell L, and so on, this range. And you have to buy the product as it is, as available at the given price. The price is whatever is quoted there. Remember this, whatever is quoted on that shirt. Now what is a futures contract? Futures contract are ready-made forward contracts, right? So ready-made forward contracts, like it will be decided like, okay, so we will only sell 10 grams of gold. All the gold will be sold in the 10 grams format. Okay, now if you want 12 grams, you can't buy it from the futures contract. Okay, using the futures contract or the futures market. So futures market is similar to ready-made garments market. So you cannot buy it from the futures market. If you want say 18 grams of gold, you have to buy 2 contracts of gold, so 20 grams of gold. Okay, so your specific needs will not be catered here, but you have to adjust it. So what is the advantage here? Advantage in the futures contract, it is liquid, so you can buy and sell easily. Okay, so that's the advantage. So where all these futures contracts are sold? In futures market. So in exchange, there is a derivative exchange, the futures exchange. You can buy from the exchange, and this is a problem. Okay, so problem is like, when, because the exchange is acting like a ready-made garment store, they have to keep the limited product. Okay, so if they are keeping the limited product, then only all the feature, like everyone will be able to trade. I'll just give you an example. So this is the exchange. How exchange works? Exchange checks the buyer's demand. Exchange checks the seller's demand. Okay. Now there is a seller who wants to sell 10 grams of gold. Maturity, say 16 days. After 16 days. Okay. So he wants it to be 16-day contract. Okay. And there is one buyer who wants to buy same 10 grams of gold at say after 15 days. Now the problem is, this is the exchange. This works on the automation. Okay, so one person will enter their sale requirement and one person will enter their buy requirement. If these requirements are matching, okay, there is a tally with it, tally in this requirement, the contract will be executed. Now we are not discussing price here. What will be the price? Say the price is the same. He wants to sell it at $100 and he wants to buy it at $100. Even after the price is same, there is an agreement between these two parties on the price. Now the problem here is that this buyer have some different requirement, which is this 15 days requirement, and the seller have some different requirement, which is 16 days requirement. Now the problem is, exchange will not be able to execute this contract. These are just offers. He is asking for 10 grams of gold. He wants to sell 10 grams of gold after 16 days. Is just an offer. There will be one buyer. He will also put offer. So both the offers will keep pending because there is no tally between these two. Why? Because there is a difference of 1 day. Now this is the problem. How exchange tried to sort it? By standardization. Now the standardization is, if you want to buy or sell these contracts, you have to do it in, say, 1 month maturity. I'm taking very rough examples. How actually this works will be discussed in mechanics of futures chapter. Right now just stick to this. Okay, stick to this discussion. And rules will be same for both the parties, the buyer and the seller. Now can you see the situation? This is sorted by the exchange, by standardization. Now if you want to sell 10 grams of gold, you have to sell in 10 grams only. So you cannot make it 12 grams. Okay, so this is the one rule. So 10 grams for buy, 10 grams for sell. Now the time is also, time to expiration is also standardized, like when you can sell. Okay, so they can sell it as after 1 month. So 1 month maturity, 1 month maturity for both. And then buyer and seller have to decide only the price. Now only disagreement which will be left in the exchange case is the these prices. So say what may happen, like buyer is ready to buy it at 100, but seller wants the price $102. Okay, so what will happen here? Obviously this contract will not get executed, right? So why? Because seller wants to sell at 102. There is one buyer who wants to buy it at 100. Still, it's fine. Like if there is no agreement between the price, because price ultimately plays a major role in our all the trades, right? So if there is no agreement between our prices, fine, the contract will not get executed. I'll wait for the next buyer. Now next buyer comes who is quoting $101. Okay, I'm not interested. If there is one more buyer who is quoting $102, okay, let's sell it to him. So exchange, what exchange will do? Exchange will sell this 10 grams of gold in forwards, obviously, to the buyer who is quoting 102. Now what will happen after this? After 1 month, because we are entering into futures contract, not the actual spot contract, because we are entering into the futures contract, the futures contract is to sell the 10 grams of gold at the end of the 1 month. After the 1 month, I will ask the exchange to ask the buyer to buy gold from me at 102. That's it, as simple as that. Because we have exchange in between, exchange keeps the control on all these trades. Okay, and what is the advantage here? Because I'm not directly party to some buyer. So if say this buyer 102 buyer is you and this 102 seller is me, so I'm trading with in exchange, I'm quoting in exchange, and the exchange is, you are also quoting in exchange, you are quoting for buy, I'm quoting for sell, and exchange is the one who is working for us, who is making all these trades happen. So exchange becomes our counterparty. So I don't have to worry about you defaulting or me default. You don't have to worry about me defaulting on your contract, because we are indirectly contracting with the exchange. Exchange is in between. So exchange is standing as a counterparty for both of us. So we are actually dealing with the exchange, and exchange will give us a mechanism. Exchange will always keep some mechanism to make sure none of us can default. After that also, it may be a default by one of the parties, but still this will be managed by the exchange. This will be borne by the exchange. Okay, so what are the features of futures contract? So futures contracts are, or it must be, exchange traded. In simple terms, we can say when the forward goes to exchange, it becomes future, like that. Okay, it is just like when you take the clothes to the tailor, he will have the tailored thing. Again, you have same clothes, you have same shirt, but when shirt goes to ready-made garment, we call it as like ready-made shirt. Confusing. Yeah. So futures must be exchange traded. Again, futures is same as forward contract, that is agree to buy or sell at the future date. Then there is no counterparty risk, theoretically. And third feature is standardization. And then the last feature is price is derived by whom? Not exchange. It is generally by demand and supply. So we can say it as it is generally by demand and supply. Obviously, like what happens in if in exchange there is a higher demand for something than the supply, automatically that thing will be expensive. Okay, so it may not match with your actual valuation. So valuation is different. Okay, so there is difference between, I'll just give you a brief overview of the value and the price. Valuation is the actual value based on some model. Price is actual price. Right now I'm not able to recall that did we discuss this value and price concept or the discussion in the level 0 of the derivatives, but let's discuss here. Okay, so right now this particular pen is say trading at, in the market you can buy it at $10. Okay, now say I have recordings going on and this pen is damaged. Now this pen is not working. Just take this scenario. You have similar pen and you live near me. And the problem is, like right now this pen is not available in the market. There is a short supply of this pen and I check the market and there is no available. What is the price of this pen? $10. But what is the problem here? It is not available to buy. But you have the pen. So what will happen? I will come to you. I will ask for, I need to buy your pen. I want to buy your pen, and quote me a price. Now you know my situation, so you will say I want $50 based on a model. What is the model here? Model is, you know my situation. That's why you are quoting me $50. And when I try to analyze, okay, so this $50 is fine for me because my recordings are pending because of this pen is not available, right? So I will buy it at I may buy it at $50. Maybe the value for this pen, value of this pen for me may be very high. So I may buy it at $100, right? Because value is different for me, like of this pen. Okay, this is a value is based on the models are derived by or designed by the human beings or the modelers, right? So those people who will design the models, based on that they will give you the value of the product. So some product may have different value for you and different value for some other person. Now suddenly the pen is available in the market. Okay, so there is a supply in the market. The price of the pen is $10. I can go into the market and buy it from the market, and you have, if you want to buy this pen in the market, you have to buy it at $10. Why? Because this is price. Okay, so difference between the price and the value is based on the model. Price is agreed by the market. Okay, it is not by the two people, it is agreed by the market. So what is the market quoting, what is the market deciding is the price. The difference between market price and the value. So we are going to see the valuation of the forward and the futures contract. We call it as a pricing of the forward and the future contract, but it is actual valuation. Okay, the right term is used for the option valuation. When we use the value term, valuation of options, there is a section in your FRM Part 1 curriculum which is known as the valuation of the option. Very interesting again, and we will see it very in a later stage. Okay, after a month, I guess. So I guess, like, I hope you understood the concept of futures, right? So futures are just a forward contract, but in a standardized environment. Now next is that discussion which is the major part of your FRM curriculum. Options. Okay, now see. We'll take the same example of betting. Okay, so Mr. B is bookie here. Mr. P is one person who is entering into bet. Mr. Q is one person who is entering into bet. Now see what is happening. So Mr. P thinks that X, the player, the batsman, who is not right now not on the pitch on this strike, and obviously this means he has the zero score, 0 runs. Okay, he has the opinion that X will be able to score more than 100 runs. Okay, this is his opinion. So he wants to bet on it. So he goes to bookie, ask for the rate to enter into this bet. So bookie will say, okay, so take $15. So he will pay $15. And in this case, what will happen? If the X scores more than 100, P wins. And what is the winning amount? Winning amount is, say, $150. Okay, so if Mr. P wins, he will get $150. But to get this opportunity or to get this bet, he has to pay first, like initial amount he has to pay is $15. Very simple. This is upside betting. Why upside betting? Because he has the opinion that the score of X will be more than 100. Now Mr. Q is there. Q has the opinion that X will not be able to score more than 100 because he is performing very poorly in past say 3 matches. So based on that, he want to enter into bet. He goes to bookie again. He wants to enter into bet. Now see, for bookie there are both the possibilities, right? He may win or he may lose on in this scenario. So bookie will he will ask bookie that I want to bet that he will not be able to score more than 100, so his score will be lower below the 100. So bookie quotes him like, yes, there are higher chances of this Mr. X will not be able to score more than 100 is higher. So he's like, okay, so $25 is amount which you have to pay to enter into bet, and in return the gain is say dollar same amount $150. So you win the bet, you get the 150, but what is your initial loss which compulsorily you have to pay at the time of entering into this particular bet is 25. In previous case it was 15. Very simple. Now see here, these two parties have different opinions. Mr. P is putting upside bet and Mr. Q here is putting downside bet. So one person is putting upside bet, one person is putting downside bet. With whom? Mr. B. So these people, these Mr. P and Mr. Q are buying bet. They are buying the opportunity to win in this bet. If you want to win the opportunity, if you want any opportunity where you can win a fixed amount, okay, so what obviously you have to pay something, right? It is just like a lottery. So lottery is you have to buy lottery, and if you win the lottery you get the substantial amount, right? So say 1 million, 10 million and so on. But obviously to buy that lottery you have to pay something. Now I'll give you like two scenarios, two cases. In case of lottery, okay, so case 1 you win, case 2 you lose, okay. Now what will happen if you win? You will get say $10 million. What will happen if you lose? You will get 0 million, right? It's very simple, right? So if you win you are getting a substantial amount. If you lose you are losing nothing. If you lose you don't have to pay $10 million. You have to, like, whatever you paid is paid. Say the price of lottery was just $100, so you paid initially whatever you paid. Now you don't have to worry about any extra losses. Whatever you paid at the time of buying that lottery was the only loss which you are going to incur. This is the position. This is the position taken by the a long option holder. So what is a long option holder? The person who buys the option. Instead of lottery, if instead of pronouncing it lottery, I say this is the option, do you mind? No problem, right? So we will say just an option. So you want to buy an option which gives you opportunity to win a substantial amount. For that you have to pay $100 as the initial amount. So you have to buy this option at 100, and if you win you get $10 million. If you lose nothing, like that. So your position is long. Just a second, see, long, right? So your position is long. So you are long option holder. Keep this in mind. So option is as simple as that. It is a bet. You buy a bet and that's it, period. Next, we have two parties here. The first party is the party P, Mr. P, who has the opinion that the score, Mr. X score, will be more than 100. when someone's opinion is of the upside movement, we call it as the call position holder. Okay, so in this case, Mr. P is first, he is long. Why long? Because he is buying the bet. And what is his position? What type of position he is holding? The call. Sorry, what type of option he is holding? Call. So position is long, type of option is call. He is holding a long call. Now next is Mr. Q. What is the position of Mr. Q? The opinion of Mr. Q. Mr. Q has the opinion that the player will not be able to score, or his score will be lower than 100. The person or the party who is having who is having the opinion which is a downside betting, of the downside betting. Downside betting is anything, the price or the scores runs will be lower than the price. Okay, agreed price, the betting price, sorry, betting value. That particular person, Mr. Q here, is holding put option. Put option is simply, so this is a pen, I am putting it. So what is happening here? I am putting it down. It goes down. So downside betting is put option. So when you want to put a downside betting, when you want to enter into a downside betting, you will call it as a put option. Very simple. Now we'll start changing all these words. So I can say Mr. P is long on call that he's having the opinion that the run scored by Mr. X will be higher. This is what tells us the long on call, which is upside betting, more than 100. And Mr. Q is, he is long on put. He is long on put, and what is the target? Target runs 100, less than 100. So the score will be less than 100. That's why it is a long on put. So long on call, long on put. Very simple. Okay. So we got the first two concepts, long on call, long on put. So call is your opinion, long is your position. If you are buying the bet, you are long. If you are selling the bet, like Mr. Q B, why Mr. B is selling the bet? Because he is taking some initial amount, like a lottery seller. Lottery seller takes the initial amount from you. He takes the initial amount from you. So he is selling the lottery, the seller. Okay. So seller is known as the short position holder, also known as the writer. Writer of the option. Writer of the option is the person who sells the option. So for example, you come to me, I will ask you, okay, what is the target run you want to put? So okay, so target is X is equal to 100. 100 is the runs target. And what is your opinion? Okay, you are saying that runs will be lower. Okay, I will write it down, put. Because I am writing this, I'll become a writer, like that. It's very lame logic here. Okay, things does not work like this. But previously, when there was a long and when the options were very old, okay, in the traditional form, the writer used to write, the person who used to sell all these bets used to write on the contract paper. That's why he become a writer of the contract, writer of the option here. Okay, so there is a writer of the option, there is a buyer of the option. So I write, so seller writes the option, buyer buys the option for some price. There is a price. In options case, now I will replace this betting, the word betting is replaced by the option. So option itself means betting here. So in options case, you have to, if you want to buy some option, that is option of upside betting or option of downside betting, you have to pay some money. This money, in previous case, like when we were talking about the betting, we could have said like this token amount or any thing. Okay, the price of bet. When we are talking about the option, we will say this is as a premium. So $15, $25 is the premium. So to buy the lottery, you pay the premium and you get the opportunity to win the unlimited amount. Unlimited as in $10 million. So $10 million is unlimited for a lot of people. So you have the opportunity to win the unlimited amount, right? So premium is there, and then you have $15 premium, and $25 is also premium, like that. Very simple. Now next, X score, target score. Target score is 100 here. Now instead of this score, we are talking about the cricket match. I replace the cricket match with stock price. Any problem? No. Why? Because I am recording it. So you can't have any problem. Even if you have a problem, you have to listen. Okay, so stock price, right? And instead of writing it as score, I will say the target price of the stock is $100. Okay, very simple. This target price is known as the strike price. Strike price is that same thing, 100, like above 100 or below 100. So this is a strike price. When the target is breached, you win the bet. So when the target of 100 in case of say stock price is breached, you will win this amount. So what amount, we will discuss it later, but right now you have to understand this. Okay, so we got the basic idea here. So now we will talk in terms of the stock prices. Okay, so say you want to bet. Okay, instead of bet, you want to buy the option, you want to long the option that stock price of say stock PQR, any, you can take any stock. So say stock PQR, you have the opinion that in 6 months, T is equal to 6 months, which is the time to expiration. This is known as the time to expiration. Very simple. After the 6 months, we will check the price of the stock. So you have the opinion that after the 6 months, at the end of the 6th month, the price of the stock will be more than 100, and you want to buy because you have the opinion that it will be more than 100. So what type of option you will buy? Just think. It is call option. Call option is, again, how to remember this? How do you take calls? Like you take phone and you lift it. So this is how the calls work. Okay, this is how the, just a second. This is how the calls work. So upside betting is the call. So whenever you have the opinion that the stock price will be higher than the strike price is the target price, higher than the strike price, we will say that you are long on call because you are buying that option. Because you are buying the option, you have to pay me some premium. So say premium is $15 here. So you will pay some initial amount, we will have the contract, and I will say, okay, so if the stock price goes above the 100, which is a target price, at the end of the 6 months, I will pay you some amount, say X amount. So you have the opportunity to win this amount. Okay. And next scenario is the put. So long put. Long put is you have opinion that no, stock price will be lower than the target price, the strike price, that is lower than the 100. Then you have the long position because you are buying the option from me, and you have the long put position. Put is downward betting, right? So you got the idea. Upside betting, downside betting, long call, long put, and so on. What is my position here? So for once, I am short position holder in both the cases. I am short on call as in you are long on call, so I am short on call. So you are buyer of call, I am seller of call. You are buyer of call, I am writer of call, like that. And then you are long on put, I am short on put. So the put is the product, put is the bet. That is a downside bet or upside bet. The put is a downside bet. Okay. And I am selling the bet, you are buying the bet. I am writing the contract, and you are buying that contract. Very simple. Right? You got the idea. Now next is the proper discussion of option. So option gives one person right to buy or sell. Okay, so for now just avoid. Okay, so we learned two positions in option. Sorry, two types of option. So one type is call, second type is put. So type is call and put. Remember this, type is call and put. So call is when you have the opinion, when you want to buy the upside bet that the price will be higher than the strike price. X is our strike price. When we will check this price at the end of the 6 months, not necessarily 6 months, but 6 months can be there, like 10 days, 1 month, 10 months, 10 years, whatever. This T is time to expiration. Okay, so see here, strike price, T is time to expiration. It will be same as in the conceptually the things will be same for call and put. So if you have the call, you will want that price should go above the strike price. If you have the put, you will expect that price to be below the strike price. Call, put. Okay. Then there is one person who will buy call. We'll say he is long on call. There is a one person, because obviously if you want to buy call, someone has to sell the call. Sorry, yeah, this is buy call and buy and long. Someone has to sell it. So the seller is short on call or writer of call. Same will happen for put. Okay, so buy long and seller will be writer short. You can call it as a writer, you can call it as a short. So if I sell you the option, which is a put option, you will become a long. You can take the opposite position, right? Now what is the scenario here? Scenario is, for some money I am giving you right to win this bet. The amount of the bet will be higher. Okay, amount of the bet can be higher, okay, than the initial price. So that's the possibility I'm selling you. So I'm selling you the possibility here, right? It's a very simple understanding. So I'm selling you the possibility of winning the higher amount. For that I'm charging you some amount at the beginning, and if you win you get the higher amount. If you lose, you have the total loss which you will have is the premium which you paid to enter into this option. So at the time of buying option you will pay me some premium. That's the only loss you will have. So the long position holder have the limited loss possibility. His loss is always limited. So I will also show you using the graphs and all, okay, pictorial representation of this. So but you have to understand that he will have the limited loss. The long will have the limited loss. And what is the problem with short? If you win the bet, I have to pay you a substantial amount. So I have the higher possibility of loss but limited possibility of the gain. So for long, gain is unlimited. Unlimited is just a theoretical word here. Gain is for a buyer of the option. The gain can be unlimited but uncertain. Uncertain is it depends totally on your winning or losing, right? Sorry, yeah, just a second. Okay, and your total loss is premium, which is limited because you have to pay fixed amount at the time of entering into contract. So if you know that you have that much money in your pocket, you will enter into this option. Otherwise you will not enter into the option. But this loss is certain or fixed. It will happen. You have to pay this particular premium. So say you win the bet and the winning amount is $100. So this $100 is your payoff. But to enter into this option, you initially paid say $15. This is your premium. So your net profit is $85. $85 is your profit. Very simple. Okay. Now we will discuss the short position holder. Now see what is happening with the short position holder. The person who is short, his gain is premium. Apply the logic which we discussed before. For every loss there will be one gainer, for every gain there will be one loser. For longs fixed loss there is one person who is gaining. So who is gaining? Short position holder is gaining. And what is he gaining? He is gaining premium, and premium is certain. So fixed gain but limited, and loss is uncertain but unlimited. So if you have short position, you might end up spending everything which is possible in short position, okay, because loss is unlimited here. So why short enters? The question is why short enters into all these type of contracts. Why short enters into, why sell, why option is written by the short. Okay, so the logic is very simple. If you see the market, there are say thousands and thousands of small gains for a short position. If you frequently trade into the options, you will have thousands of small gains and one big loss. So chances are very low that some person will win the bet. Okay, chances are low, amount may be low and like that. So but once the loss happens, it will be a big loss. So, okay, so big loss and small gains in a form of premium. So uncertain big loss and small certain premiums. Whatever is the tally between these two, higher gain or higher losses, whatever is the tally will be profit or loss in his portfolio of the short position. Okay, so this is the thing here. So the intention here is to earn from all these premiums, and generally what will happen, the call holder will lose. So if you have say 100 calls, if you buy it in random, so chances are you will lose on maximum if the market is stable. If there is market which is very highly volatile, anything can happen. High chances are that you will lose on the maximum options and you will gain on one or two options. Okay, so the target is to make sure that this balance should work. Okay, that's why the short enters into the position, because he is having the certain gains, right? Now this is the whole explanation which we had here, which I gave you, was in terms of very like layman's language. Now I want you to remember the basic concepts: long, short, call, put. So there are two positions, two types of options. Time to expiration, payoff we will discuss later. But here what you need to understand is, like, whatever we discussed till this point is beneficial for you in exam. So you have to remember whatever I told you till this point. Now I will get into the theoretical discussion of this option part. Okay, so theoretical discussion as in the raw meaning of the option. What is the very basic and the raw meaning of the option? Okay, so call is right to buy, and put is right to sell. Very simple. Let's start the discussion with the call. Say you have call, strike price is $50, time to maturity is 6 months, and what else do we need? S0. Currently it is trading at $45. Okay, so currently the stock is trading at $45. You are saying that at the end of the 6 months you have the call that the strike, we have the call option with the strike price 50. This means that you have right to buy this option, this particular underlying the stock with the help of the option at $50. So call is right to buy. So how it works? I am the writer of the call. You are buyer of the call. So what I will do, I will sell you right to buy. You will buy right to buy. Now right to buy, in your mind, whenever I say right to buy, you just say it is a call. So you buy call, right? So you can buy call. So what is call? Call is right to buy. So you are buying right to buy. I hope you got the idea why I said that whatever discussion we had till this point, you have to remember that for the exam perspective, and now we are having the theoretical discussion. After this discussion is closed, some students get confused into this right to buy and like that. Okay, this is kind of jumbled up. So instead of digging deep into this or trying to fix it in your mind, let it sink. Okay, it will automatically sink after like 3-4 classes. Don't bother about this particular discussion, which is the discussion which we are having right now. Okay, so you will buy right to buy, meaning you can buy this particular stock at $50 at the end of the 6 months, and I will sell you right to buy. I'm not selling right to sell. I am selling you right to buy. So I sold you right to buy. So you can buy this particular stock from me at $50 at the end of the 6 months, and currently it is trading at $45. Now let's say take the two examples, two scenarios. The scenario number 1, case 1, case 2. At the time of maturity, ST, the price is $60, and ST, the price is $30. Just one more information. Because it's a call and you want to buy this right to buy, obviously if you want to buy something, you have to pay me something. So for that you paid the premium, which is denoted as C0. We write it as C0, say $5. Okay. Now we reach to the point T, which is 6 months, end of the 6 months. And case 1 is the actual price of this stock in the market is $60. Now you have right to buy this particular stock at $50. But in market, this particular stock is trading at $60. Will you buy it from me? Because this right is from me, so I have to give you at 50, right? So you have right towards me and not towards the market. You have towards me. So will you come to me for asking this your stock at 50, or will you buy it from the market at $60? Obviously you will come to me and you will say, see, I have right to buy and I want to, this is what you are saying, I want to buy it at $50. This what you did here is known as the exercising the option, that is exercising your right to buy. Exercising option. So when you will exercise option, whenever this deal option is beneficial for you, you will exercise it because you have right to buy. You will come to me, you will ask me to sell it at 50. So I'll be like, okay, at 50. So again, we will apply the same payoff logic which we discussed in the forwards calculation. So the logic is simple, that instead of you coming to me and asking for the $50, I will say, okay, you do one thing, you buy it from the market at 60 and I'll pay you $10. Okay, so you bought it at 60, you got $10 in cash from me, adjust it. What is your landed price? $50, which is your agreed price. Now in this discussion, you can see that you can come to me and ask for right to buy. I cannot come to you and ask. because you have the right. You are the owner of that right to buy. I am not the owner, which is the writer. The person who is writing it is not the owner. So the person who is owning it, who is the long, who is the buyer of the option, is the owner of that option. So you have right to buy. You will come to me. This will always, this is the case, okay? So I cannot come to you. You have to remember this. Meaning, you have right, the person who is long have right to exercise the option, and the person who is short has the obligation to live up to it. Okay, so I have the obligation and you have the right. So the person who have the right, he may exercise it, he may not exercise it, right? Very simple. But the person who has the obligation, he cannot do anything. If someone asks for the obligation, he has to fulfill it. Now next case is the second case, case 2. In the case 2, the underlying price at the end of the 6 months is $30, meaning this particular stock in the market is trading at $30. But see, you have right to buy at 50. In market something is trading at 50 and you have right to buy at 50. Why will you come to me? You will simply buy it from market and you'll be like, let it go, I don't care about whatever right you have, right? So what you will do, you will simply go into the market, you will buy it at 30 and you will let your, like, you will just dump your right. Okay, so this is your right. So this whatever is the situation here, you are not exercising your right, is known as the lapse of the option, because you're not, it is not beneficial for you. Okay, now we'll go back to our previous style of discussion, that is call. Call is upside betting, meaning you are expecting the price to go above a certain limit. So this is the only way you can have the gains. Okay, so see here, when this $60 is above your underlying above your strike price, which is the X, above your strike price, then only you are having the gain. In the next case, the C2, this there is nothing, like total payoff will be 0, right? Because it is for the 30. So if this particular limit, the target price, the exercise price, the strike price is not breached in case of call, okay, it is not above, the underlying price is not above the strike price, then the option will lapse, right? Okay, it's very simple. Now here we have to discuss the net profit or net loss. So these are the payoffs. So payoff in the case 1 is $10. But remember, to get that payoff, you paid something which is $5. So your net payoff is, net profit is $5, like that. Now next, in case of the case, in case 2, your total payoff is 0 and you paid something, that is a premium. So you paid out of your pocket, so $5 is already paid, and then you have 0 payoff. So your net loss is sorry, -5, right? This is how option and the call, right to buy, that part works. Now next, put option. Put option is right to sell. Now again the same scenario, you are long, strike price will take same $50, time to expiration 6 months, currently trading at dollar, I guess 45, right? Currently trading at 45, and what else do we need? Okay, that's it. Okay, so now see here, again we will discuss the case 1 and case 2, and in case 1 it is ST, it is a stock price at the maturity is $60, and stock price at the maturity is $30. Okay, let's take this. Okay, now see here, so you have right to sell. which is bought from me. So you have right to sell. You own the right to sell. You have the long position in right to sell. I have the short position in right to sell, meaning again, there is an obligation, there is a right, as we discussed in this discussion. That is, you have right to sell one particular product to me at a certain price. And I have the obligation to buy that product from you at a certain price, a decided price. So we call it as a target price. Now let's come to the discussion. You have right to sell, which is a put. You have right to sell, put, and it is towards me. Something as per ST, something currently, that is that particular asset, the stock, is trading at $60 in the market, but you have right to sell it to me at $50. Meaning, if you sell it to me, you will get 50. If you sell it in the market, you will get 60. You have the right. What will happen? Will you come to me, or you will simply go to the market and sell it? Obviously, you will sell it in the market, right? Very simple. And what will happen in case of the this ST, next case 2, that is a $30. Obviously, now see here, you have right to sell it to me at $30. So if you sell it to me, you will get how much? $50. That is because the target price is 50, and in market the currently it is trading at $30. So if you sell it in the market, you will get 30. So what you will do? You will come to me. You will exercise your right. Okay, you will exercise your right, and you will ask me to pay you 50. So again, the logic is simple. In case of 60, you will not come to me. So in this case, the option will lapse. In the case 2, option will be exercise. If the option is exercise, there will be payoff. How much will be the payoff? In this particular case, it is, I guess, 50 minus 30, 20. $20 is payoff here. Very simple. Okay, so this is how right to sell and right to buy works. So I used to tell this in the previous recording. If you watch the previous recording, I told the example of the there is one aggregator. Okay, so e-commerce website in India, which is Flipkart. Okay, so Flipkart gives the option. If you buy a smartphone from the Flipkart, they give you the option to resell it to them at the end of the 1 year. Okay, you can resell it to Flipkart okay, so at we'll take one particular example. It will be, let's say, rupees 15,000. Okay, so you have right to sell it to Flipkart at 15,000. So smartphone, there is one XYZ smartphone. So this XYZ smartphone, you can sell it to Flipkart at 15,000 because you have this option. Okay, so at the time of buying the smartphone from you from the Flipkart, they give you the option. At that time, they will charge you some money. If you want this option, that is the option to resell it to Flipkart, you have to pay some money, and same the amount you paid, which is again the premium, as simple as that. It is 500. Okay, so 500 you paid to get the option to resell it to 15, resell your smartphone at the 15,000. Now, at the end of the 1 year, you check the market, and case 1, as per the case 1, in the market, this smartphone is trading at 20,000. So if you buy it to any person, he will buy it from you at 20,000. And in case 2, if you ask in the market, you found out that you will get maximum 10,000 if you sell it in the market. So what you will do? You have right. Okay, so you bought the smartphone from you, you paid some amount for it, and you have the right to sell it to Flipkart at the end of the 1 year. So Flipkart will not come to you to ask and resell it to them. It is your right. If you want it, go do it. If you don't want it, you don't have to worry about it. So if in market it is selling at 20,000, you have right to sell it at 15,000. So obviously you will not ask Flipkart. You will be like, let my right go off, and you will go to the market and you will sell it in the market, and you will get 20,000. right? So again, this is the right to sell, this is put. Yeah, right. Okay, so you will sell it in the market. Here you are not exercising your option, that is your right. In case 2, in market, the same option is trading, same smartphone is trading at 10,000, and you have right to resell it to Flipkart at 15,000. Obviously, you will go to the Flipkart and you will be like, okay, as promised 1 year before, you said that you will buy it at 15,000. Now buy it at 15,000 from me, right? So Flipkart will buy it at 15,000 from you. So your net gain, the payoff is equal to 5,000. And how much you paid initially to buy this right? 500. Total gain 450. Oh, sorry, 4,500, which is your gain. This is your premium. Okay, so premium gain. So payoff minus premium is your gain. It's very simple. Okay. Right. So I hope you got the idea of how this particular option thing works, the basics of the option. In case you have some doubts, you don't have to worry about it right now, because we will have lots and lots of discussion regarding the option. We have this complete discussion, whatever we discussed till this point, again in coming chapters. Okay, so I try to solve all these things as like resolve all these and simplify all these things as much as possible. Again, we cannot go into deep because we have to discuss all these things again, so we'll avoid the detailed discussion here. That is specific discussion, that is apart from the fundamental concept. We are not discussing anything. That is how actually market works, what are the requirements for the option, what type of options are there. That is apart from the call and put. And there are some, this is known as, whatever we are discussing here is the plain vanilla option. There is a fancy version of the option which is an exotic option. Again, we have the same this particular discussion in the our syllabus, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so let's take the example here. Let's think about, let's say, so this is a call option. Okay, so position is buy or long as before. Underlying is ROG limited. This is stock is currently trading at $40. I hope you are able to see. I'll just zoom it in. Okay, so see here, the currently stock is trading at 40. Okay, and then you have strike price is 50. That is your bet price. Okay, so you are saying, because you have the call, you are saying that the price will go above 50. This is what you are saying. And C0 is the premium which you paid to buy this option. And then time to maturity is 1 month. Okay, yeah, we missed a very important discussion, sorry. So the discussion was, what will be the amount of payoff. So I was thinking about that only, so what I'm saying here. Okay, now see here, in case of this particular option, stock option or the call option and the put option. Okay, we are discussing about the stock option, and your strike price is x is 50, and currently the price, it is trading at S0 is in today, it is trading at 40. Okay, this is T1, this is T0. So at the time of T1, again, the strike price is same 50, and S0 is, say, ST is, say, 75. Okay, so in case of the option, call option, the payoff is the difference between the strike price and the ST. So whatever is the difference, that is ST is 75 here, and X, that is your strike price, target price is 50. So whatever is difference between two, this will be your winning amount. You will get 25 in this case. Okay. Actually, we discussed this particular concept indirectly in the discussion, but I forgot to link it with the fundamental concept of the payoff. Okay, because we discussed payoff in the forwards, we should discuss payoff in here as well. Now we will take the different scenarios. The strike price is 50. Now let's take the three examples, three scenarios. Three scenario starts like 65 is again the call. Okay, 65, 70, 80. Now tell the payoffs. Okay, this is a ST. Payoff is very simple because we discussed like this is the payoff is for call, it is ST minus X when you are exercising your option. So what is your gain on this? Simple, it is 15, it is 20, it is 30. So this is how payoff works. You have to take the difference between the strike price and the underlying. Now trick question. I don't think it is trick question. After two classes you will be like this is a very basic question. Right now whatever I am calling it as a trick question. What if the price is 30? Will you take the difference or will you just take the 0? The answer is we will take the 0. See, payoff will happen when the option is exercised. When you will exercise the call option, when the price is above strike price. If the price is not above strike price, like in this example, the strike price is 50 and ST is 30. It is below strike price. You will not exercise it. If you are not exercising it, there is no question of payoff. If there is no question of payoff, it is simply 0. As simple as that, right? Now for put, same timeline, strike price 50, S0 50, it doesn't matter. Okay, S0 doesn't matter for us. T1 and strike price again 50 and two cases, case 1, case 2. So in case 1 we will take, let's say it is 45 and then 35, and then we will also take case 3. Let's avoid the extension here, 25. Now what will be the payoff here? Payoff will be the difference between the strike price and the ST. Okay, so here formula is, see, in case of call the formula is ST minus X comma 0 max, meaning maximum of ST minus X or 0, whatever is the maximum. So let's take the first example. Okay, we'll try to put it in the figures. So ST is 70, ST is 70, X is your 50. So ST minus X, answer is 20. So what is higher? Max 20 or 0? 20. So we'll go with the 20. 80 minus 50. What is the payoff? 30. So what is higher? 30 or 0? 30. In case of this last example, 30, when the ST is 30. So if you just take for a moment, use the formula ST minus X. So ST is 30 here, minus X is 50 here. The answer is minus 20. What is greater, minus 20 or 0? 0. Okay, and that's how our payoff was 0. When I said the payoff was 0, this is how the payoff was 0. So there are two alternatives. Okay, so you can use the formula max ST minus X comma 0. So whatever is the higher, ST minus X, one term, this we call it as A, and 0 we call it as B. Whatever is higher between A and B, you have to take that. Okay, so this is the one way, or we will use the simple logic. So logic is the best thing. It will never confuse you. So what is the logic? So if we are exercising the option, this is a call option. When we will exercise the option, if the underlying is above the strike price. If we are exercising the option, then what will happen? You will have the payoff. Obviously, for long, it will be positive payoff. For long, it will never be negative payoff, right? Because he will not exercise his rights, right? If it is negative payoff for him, he will not exercise the right. And if it is like below the strike price, when the underlying is below the strike price in case of call, he will not exercise it. If he is not exercising it, payoff will be 0. Simple. Now next question is on the put. Illustration is on the put. Now the formula here is, if you have to give the formula, formula is x minus st comma 0. Okay, now it will fit. So your x is equal to 50. This is your st, x, st. So first, st is equal to 45. So 50 minus 45, 5 pay off, 15 pay off, 25 pay off, like that, x minus st. So whatever is higher, 0, 0, 0. So whatever is higher, 5 or 0, 5, 5, 15 or 0, 15, 25 or 0, 25. Very simple, right? So this is very basic logic linked here. Now, in this case, if we take the case 4, which is say 60, now we'll use the same formula, x minus st. So x is 50 minus st is 60, difference is minus 10 comma 0. What is higher? 0. 0. Okay. So instead of remember like this, you can do is like, see, what is a put? Put is a downside betting. What is a downside betting? When the underlying price is below the strike price, we win the bet. So strike price, in this particular case, strike price is 50. If the underlying price is below 50, we will win the bet. So we have to check. And what is the difference amount? Winning amount. Winning amount is the difference between the underlying and the strike price. So you have to take this difference, your payoff. What is the profit? Payoff minus premium you paid is the profit, right? Picture clear? Okay. Now what happens, like when the underlying price is higher than that, you option will lapse. You will not go, or you will not exercise your option in case of the put option. Okay, so this is put option strike price. If the underlying price is higher, this option will lapse, right? So again, that's the basic discussion. Now we will move into the Excel sheet. In Excel sheet, we got the idea that is options type is the call position, that is you are buying it, you have the long position. We will also see for the short position holder, which is a writer. Okay, then S0 is underlying price currently trading, underlying price is the 40, X strike price is the 50, calls premium is $5, and time to maturity is 1 month. Now see what happens. Focus on this table. Okay, so price at the maturity, option is call. So price at the maturity is 38, 40, 42, 44, 46 and so on till 64. Premium paid is 5. In any case, you have already paid the premium. It is out of pocket. Once it goes out of pocket, it is always out of pocket. You cannot take it back. So premium paid is $5. So $5 in all the cases. Now payoff. Remember, this is a call whose strike price is 50. If the underlying price is below 50, there will be zero payoff. See here, this is zero payoff. Till 50, the payoff is 0. Once it breaches the 50, the payoff will start, and payoff is just a difference between 50 minus 52 is 2. 50 minus 54 is 4, and so on. And this is your positive payoff, right? So see here, premium paid, and this is your payoff. So whenever you will have payoff and premium paid, we know how to calculate the profit. So how to calculate the profit here? Payoff minus premium paid. $5 is the loss here. Loss. Why? Because you paid something and there is a zero payoff. You bought the lottery at $5 and you are not winning the lottery. So your total loss is that whatever you paid for the lottery. So $5, $5, and so on till 50. Now after this, what will happen? You will get your first payoff after 50. So you are getting first payoff as 2. But remember, you are getting 2, but you paid $5 out of your pocket. So what is your loss? You are still in the loss. The loss is 3. And then 5 minus 4, loss is 1. 5 minus 6, 1, 3, 6, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. This is the area when you will start getting profits. So when you will start getting profit, whenever your payoff is greater than the premium, you will have profit. Again, now what will happen for the call writer? Just the opposite. So he will receive premium, like call holder paid the premium, he will receive premium. See here, premium received, premium paid. Okay, so he will receive the premium, and the payoff is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, This is the negative payoff. For every person who is gaining something, there has to be an equal loss. So the call writer is having the equal loss. Okay, and the profit is received $5, payoff you don't have to pay anything, $5, $5, $5, $5, and like that, and then $3, $1, your profit starts decreasing, and then this profit starts decreasing, and then it results into loss, and loss goes to up to $9. If you stretch this particular like case, okay, and extend it to say very higher amount, you will find unlimited, like infinite loss. Okay, now this is the thing, that's why we were saying that in case of long call, the position who is a long holder will always have limited losses. See, fixed loss, the highest ever loss to the long is $5 in all the cases. It will never increase above that. Okay, ignoring the transaction cost here. Okay, so it will never increase above that. Can you see this? Now his gain can be unlimited. See, if I just take the underlying price as say 1 lakh, okay, strike price is 50, underlying price is 1 lakh. Somehow it went there. So difference amount will be 95,900 and like 1 lakh. Okay, so 99,995, something like that. Okay, so this will be the gain. So this is what we are saying, for the long call holder, the possibility of the gains is unlimited. Sorry, the possibility of the higher gain is there. So possibility of the unlimited gain. And then call writer. See here, in all cases, his gain is limited to $5. The gain is not increasing above $5. And then his losses starts to increase. So the short position holder, the call writer, same is applicable for the put. The writer will have limited gains, but will have higher possibility of higher losses, but may have higher losses, right? Okay, now this is a diagram here. So I hope you are able to see this. I will also share this Excel sheet so you can see by yourself by after downloading it. And in case you don't find this Excel sheet, just ping me. Okay, I will send it. Now see here. The first is payoff long call. So payoff of the long sorry, this payoff of long call is this line. Okay, so this one, see the cursor, this line, right? Now see the payoff pattern. So payoff, because this is a long position holder, so we all know like what will happen. There will be zero payoff. Either there will be zero payoff or some payoff, because long is not supposed to give at the time of payoff. This same, again, recall the lottery example. The lottery buyer, if he loses, he is not supposed to pay anything, so there will be no payoff. So in similar case, if you are the long option, if you are the option buyer, you don't have to pay anything if you are losing or your option is lapsing. So 0 0 0 0 payoffs are 0. As soon as the strike price is breached, you will start gaining, and see here there is a gain on the later side. In similar case, in case of the short position holder, call again but short position holder, what is happening? 0 0 0 0 0 payoff, and then he'll start incurring the negative payoff. So he has to pay amount. Okay, short position holder. Now the profit figure is this. Okay, so see here, this is the first is the profit for the short. So see, from the diagram, try to understand, there is a stable profit, fixed profit, right? See the fixed profit, but infinite possibility of the losses. If I extend this to like say again more than that limit, so here, okay, so he will have infinite losses. So limited gains for the short position holder, limited gains and unlimited losses. Now long position holder, long call, limited losses. See here, fixed limited losses $5, but possibility of the unlimited gains. And now, because the scenario is like this, the limited losses and unlimited gain, or limited gains, unlimited losses, option is a non-linear derivative. Always remember this, option is non-linear derivative. Why? This diagram tells us this is not the linear. There is a curve. Okay, not curve exactly. Like this is not a linear thing. Okay, so first this is a limited and then unlimited. So this is thing. This is how you need to understand. This is what you need to understand between the limited, linear, and the non-linear. So linearity is broken here, right? So yeah, that's the basic discussion. Now next is forward contract, linear, non-linear, European, and okay, properties of option. Okay, so we discuss the properties of option indirectly, the premium, expiration, exercise price, like that. Excel, okay, I show it to you now. Yes. Now we'll come back to our discussion. Okay, so we discussed the two types of options, basic option. So first one was the call option and then put option, right? So this is the type of option. I don't know, like is this a right word to say the type of option, but yes, this is the call and the put. Then there are the varieties of option. Okay, so varieties of option is, see the difference. This is T0, this is T1, okay, and our X is strike price is 50. So say this is the strike price, right? And this line which I will draw now with the yellow, this indicates the stock price. This is your call option, and time period is say 6 months. And what else we need? Okay, if I come to know like we need some other information, I will add. Okay, now see here, stock price is moving like this. So this is a call option. Stock price went above 50 on these 2 points. I will call the first one as a point A, I will call the second point as a point B, and at the T2, at the T1, at this point, it is below, way below your strike price, say 30. Now, can you exercise the option? No, because it's a call option. Call option can be exercised if the underlying price is above the strike price. The underlying price is not above the strike price. Why this is happening? Because we have expiration date. You can check the prices at this particular date, that is at the T1, because there is a 6 months time period, decided time period. You have to check at the end of the 6 months. Okay, because you can check your expiration, there is only one expiration date, that is T1, and you can check the prices on that date only. This is a type of option. This is known as the European option. Very standardized form of option. Everything is same, whatever we discussed. Only difference is you cannot exercise it in this period. Just take example. If you could have exercised, like if you had the option to exercise this early, you could have done, like you could have exercised it at point A, and say the point A is 60. So you would have earned payoff of 10, right? But because it's a European option, you cannot do it. You have to wait till the expiration. You even got the second option. Second option is the B. Say there is a total payoff of 5. Okay, so B is equal to say 55 and total payoff will be 5. So you had this option as well. Okay, which was like you could have got 5 as a payoff if somehow you could have exercised, like if you had the option to exercise it early, right? But this option was not available. In case if these options are available, that you can exercise the option early, you can check the prices and you can decide if you want to exercise the option or not. Like example, if we took the Flipkart example, that Flipkart said that at the end of the 1 year you can come to them and they will be like, they will agree to buy back at 15,000. But imagine that Flipkart said that in between any period, okay, so in between 1 year, like before 1 year, any period, you can come to us and give us your smartphone and use your buyback option. Okay, so at that time, this becomes a different story. So this type of option, when you can exercise your option earlier than this date, this is American option. So whenever you think that you are getting the best price, you can exercise it. This is advantageous, this is beneficial. Okay, so both the options have their own properties. American option, European option. American option have some added advantages, so obviously it should be higher. Advantage comes at the cost, so American option should be higher priced compared to European option. So this is a fundamental difference between the two, American option and the European option. Remember this, European option can be exercised early, American option cannot be exercised earlier than the maturity. What type of options do we have in India? Those who are from the India, for them this is the question. Just think, European or American. So can you exercise your option or not? So the thing is, in general, a lot of people get confused between the European and the American option. So because those who are specifically trading in options, they think that they are exercising when they sell their option in between. Okay, so they buy today and sell it tomorrow. So when they do this is not the actual exercise of your option. You are actually transferring your option to someone else. In India, we have European option. Options expire on the maturity only. Okay, and that's why you have to sell it to someone else if you want to transfer your burden or profit. Okay, if you want to encash your profit or if you want to transfer your burden, you have to sell it to someone else. In case of American option, if India had the American option, you could have simply exercised your option. You don't, in case of American option, you don't have to transfer it to someone or sell it to someone. Simply go and exercise it. Who is stopping you, right? So exercise your option. Whatever is the gain is gain. That's it. Right, so in India we have European option, not the American option. Remember this. Okay, so this is one more thing. In other than that, both the things are like, everything in these two options is the same. Okay, just some miscellaneous discussion is remaining. We'll take one break and we'll come again. Okay.